Hello, I'm Dave Karger. Thanks for joining me tonight on TCM. We're in the middle of a night of movie musicals, and up next is an unusual entry in the genre, a movie that blends lighthearted musical numbers with a dark, dramatic story set during the Great Depression. From MGM in 1981, it's Pennies from Heaven. The film was adapted from Dennis Potter's acclaimed BBC miniseries about a sheet music salesman whose business fails during the Depression, setting off a painful downward spiral in his life. His only escape comes in the form of imagined musical fantasies set to the 1930s songs that he peddles. The lead character called for a serious dramatic actor who could also manage to pull off the elaborate dance numbers. To everybody's surprise, the part went to Steve Martin. At the time, Martin had just finished starring in a completely different kind of movie, the 1979 comedy The Jerk. He had never played a dramatic role on screen before, but producer Nora Kay, who was married to the film's director Herbert Ross, felt that Steve Martin was perfect for the part. He reminded her of the movie stars of the 1930s, especially in the Depression-era films directed by Frank Capra. Steve Martin, who, as you probably know, is an expert banjo player, certainly had the musical talent that was necessary for the role, and he stars alongside two other talented musical performers, Bernadette Peters and Christopher Walken. But in another bold and unexpected choice, just as in the miniseries, none of the leads in the film actually sing their songs. Instead, you'll see them lip sync along to tunes from the 1930s sung by the likes of Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire. The movie also features imaginative Art Deco sets, as well as cinematography by the great Gordon Willis, whose previous credits included The Godfather, Annie Hall, and All the President's Men. From 1981, directed by Herbert Ross, this is Pennies from Heaven. Pennies from Heaven was not what moviegoers were expecting from a Steve Martin picture in 1981, and most critics didn't know what to make of the film either. It became a box office flop, but over time it's developed a cult following. Still, the movie did go on to earn 3 Academy Award nominations for its screenplay by Dennis Potter, who adapted it from his own original BBC series, as well as for Best Sound and Best Costumes. The costumes for the film were designed by the legendary Bob Mackie, and this was his 3rd Oscar nomination. He was first nominated for Lady Sings the Blues from 1972, and then again for another musical released 3 years later, Funny Lady. As for Steve Martin, Pennies from Heaven was a dramatic experiment that didn't quite connect with audiences, and 1 year later he returned to the big screen in a comedy, the hilarious film noir parody Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, which was directed and written by Carl Reiner. Up next, John Savage and Treat Williams lead an ensemble cast in a 1979 adaptation of the ultimate hippie musical.
Next on TCM, Hair, then Divine Madness, and later, I'll see you in my dreams. Catch some Z's with TCM tonight.